How's it going?
Hello, Facebook, YouTube, what's going on?
How's it going?
Little bonus coverage today. Getting out here a little bit early for you early birds.
Better early than late, right?
That camera's out of focus here. Hold on, I'll help you. No, you don't. I do.
Oh, look at Lee. You want to focus on my iPad? You guys have just seen the power of focusing. Lee, it's time to focus.
It's time to get focused.
The camera and the show. Oh, I'm so over this already.
Well, then you're back. You might have a back focus button there.
The giraffe story is what I'm over. Oh yeah,
Good.
look.
I didn't like this the first time it happened.
I know, it was so distracting.
I was just out on it.
I didn't want to engage in any conversation about it.
That camera has a back focus ring. I think it's in between that focus and the camera itself, and it's not locked in. That's why it looks so funky. It's a little ring. It should snap in.
Don't worry, guys. We're working hard to deblur.
That's not bad. Stand by open. Do. All right, well, look at everybody saying hello. What's going on, kids? How's everybody doing? Clint's in Rock Vegas. I haven't heard Rock Vegas before.
Rock Vegas?
Rockland. He's calling it Rock Vegas.
I love it.
I've heard of Scow Vegas.
Becky, April the giraffe is pregnant again.
Oh, we have issues. We've got issues. Right out of the open, we're right into a SOT, just so you know. Oh, are we not? We're not on? Okay.
I was able to speak to Mom this morning. That's a strong woman, and you can tell why Darius turned out the way he did.
UMaine football coach Joe Harrisimiak speaking for the first time about the sudden death of incoming freshman Darius Minor, who collapsed during a workout on the field on Tuesday afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. The death of Darius Minor has shaken Black Bear Nation, but it isn't the first time the football program lost a student athlete.
In his 23 years as the head football coach at UMaine, Jack Cosgrove had countless amounts of off-the-field incidents he had to deal with, including 2011. One of his players was killed in a motorcycle accident the summer before his sophomore season.
I remember that Charles Crimer, watching my son Matthew play a junior league baseball game, I get a phone call, and everything changes. Everything stops, and that becomes the only issue in your life. Support, those kind of things. You got to lead as a coach.
As the current group of Black Bears deal with the death of Darius Minor, Coach Cosgrove is hoping the players understand the healing process can be long and slow, but staying together will help.
It's really something that will be slow to go away. The pain of the loss will be there, as a family should. When there's a loss within a family, you support each other. You stand up for each other, and you put an arm around each other when the time is necessary.
Even though Kazi is at Colby now, he is keeping in close contact with current UMaine head coach Joe Harrisimiak, who he had hired as an assistant back in 2011.
Have the courage to stand up for what you believe in. That's kind of what I said to Joe last night. You got to really take the lead on this and get that bowl machine going in support of the program and in support of the family, in support of all the things that are right about Maine football. It takes courage in situations like this to really step up and assert yourself as a leader. And that's what my advice to Joe was.
Now, Kazi added that there is no coaching book on this one, and his heart goes out to Darius Minor's friends and family.
All right, switching gears now to the weather. Pretty sticky still out there today, Keith.
Very, and if you look at those cameras, we're always flirting with that fog bank back and forth coming in. So that's what we're going to deal with tomorrow, some heavy rain, but I do have some improvement for Friday.
Okay, so we just got to get through tomorrow.
Just got to get through that.
Okay.
Just a little bit of rain. Let's start with the current dew points. That's really the story. It has been since Sunday. Dew points in the 70s, 73 in Freiburg, reaching the apex of the humidity tomorrow. Dew points could be even higher than this, so really, really tropical stuff. Temperatures in the 70s for the most part, although Caribou and Freiburg have been consistently over the past few days warmer than the rest of the state in the mid-80s. Showers and thunderstorms have developed out there. Most of the time over the past couple of days they've been to the west. They're finally sliding in, though, tonight, moving into our area, those thunderstorms into the mountains, and there's a whole lot of moisture where that came from. You can see it converging down across southern New England. So showers and storms become more and more likely overnight tonight and in through the day tomorrow. And I think tomorrow, although not a start to finish washout in the technical sense, is essentially one of those, because it's cloudy, there's fog, then showers and thunderstorms with downpours come through. The middle of the day is cloudy, and then some more thunderstorms come through in the afternoon. So I don't see too many opportunities where it's going to be great to go outside tomorrow. But there will be some improvement, as I mentioned, for Friday. We'll look ahead into the weekend in just a few minutes.
Just an absolute nightmare, a parent's worst, really. An 8-year-old boy in Oakland died inside of his parents' bedroom closet when his father's 12-gauge shotgun went off while he was handling it. Parker Stevens was found in the closet by his mother. She did not hear the gun go off. Parker Stevens was going into the 4th grade at Williams Elementary School in Oakland. Much more on this story coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30.
Former U.S. gymnastics doctor and serial sexual predator Larry Nassar is appealing his sentence. Nassar claims the judge in his case made up her mind before the trial even started, and he's asking that she be disqualified. In the same filing, Nassar claims he was physically attacked in prison.
Yesterday, we told you about $12 billion of federal aid headed to rural farmers. It's part of a federal initiative to help farmers whose harvests have been hurt by tariffs, specifically farmers who sell wheat, corn, dairy, or pork. Now, we reached out to several Maine farm associations today who say that most Maine farms will not be affected by this because most sell crops or livestock locally, not internationally. Lobstermen, however, could certainly feel the impact of Chinese tariffs.
Says she didn't sexually abuse her student. On day 3 of the former Kennebunk High School teacher's trial, she took the stand to defend herself. LaMontagne claimed that she never gave the student in question her cell phone number, but said it would be easy for him or other students to get it. She told the jury she's been transparent from the start, saying she even went to school administration to address the rumors about a relationship with the alleged victim. Now, unfortunately, we've covered multiple trials where teachers are accused of sexually abusing students, but one detail in this trial stands out. About a dozen Kennebunk High School teachers have stood in support of the accused abuser in court every single day. So why put their jobs at risk? And what kind of message does this send to other students?
We have no qualms about being on Jill's side versus his side.
Fellow Kennebunk High School teachers unapologetically siding with defendant Jill LaMontagne, despite accusations of sexual abuse of a minor.
We know the kid. We know his history. We know his witness. We know his history. We know the kid who started the rumor. We know his history. There's nothing there. It's malice.
Science teacher Melissa Lucci says she knows her colleague is innocent and doesn't believe the rumored romantic relationship ever happened.
Her classroom was a sanctuary for many students. At 7:30 in the morning, when this supposedly happened, there were kids walking in and out all of the time. There's no privacy in any classroom at any time.
Lucci and others are risking their jobs, putting their credibility on the line to defend LaMontagne. You know, obviously, given that you're still a teacher at the school, being here, it's risky to a degree. So why is it worth that risk to you to show up to court every day and support her?
Simple. It's the right thing to do.
The right thing to do, she says, and a move that comes with consequences. Immediately after talking to us on camera, Lucci was told by lawyers she was no longer allowed to testify as a character witness for LaMontagne, who she says embodies kindness and compassion.
She'll never get a chance to teach again. If you Google her name, there's no getting past that, the crap that's on the internet.
But what about the student who accused LaMontagne of abuse? And what will other students think when they see their teachers supporting an accused abuser? Do you think this sends any kind of negative message to your students? Since, you know, you are saying this kid who's an alleged victim in this case, you know he's wrong?
No, it's not, because everybody knows this student.
So Melissa Lucci and her coworkers say they're confident the jury will side with LaMontagne, but a forensic expert who testified yesterday actually presented text messages between LaMontagne's cell phone and the teen in question, including messages on the day he tried to take his own life. There were also more than 80 phone calls between the two. So closing arguments in this case are expected to start tomorrow morning.
Central Maine Power will be sending millions of dollars out of state. The money will go towards helping energy assistance programs in Massachusetts over a 40-year period. It's part of the agreement for a massive renewable power project. The New England Clean Energy Connect project, as it's called, is aiming to bring hydropower from Canada to Massachusetts through Maine. A spokesperson for CMP's parent company tells News Center Maine CMP ratepayers are not responsible for paying for this.
Our next story involves athletic determination and maybe someone who's a little bit mashugana. You're going to want to look that one up. Yesterday during the Tour de France, cyclist Philippe Gilbert flipped off of his bike, but he got back on and finished the race another 60 kilometers. Once he finished, he posted this picture from a hospital room.
Ouch.
He broke his knee. That swelling is ridiculous. He decided he would bow out for the rest of the tour, which is a really good idea.
That hurts me looking at that. I'm glad he's okay. All right. Someone can record your private conversations without you knowing.
I think it does. I think there are a lot of misconceptions in the general public about the level of privacy that they're entitled to.
Your right to confidentiality explained, coming up.
And rumors are swirling around Demi Lovato, the truth and lies surrounding her drug overdose, when we come back.
Wanted to steal my line.
I did.
She went with the and I was waiting for you. I was going to let you go.
But then I was like, no, I see the lead. So I was like,
Am I with you guys?
I was ready to go.
I think, so there's 8 months. So I think you're over there.
Yeah, you're over there.
Until when?
Until after the
Did
SOT.
you guys see his knee?
I think during the SOT you can walk to us.
My
And there's an
goodness
airplay
gracious.
too.
Okay.
Crazy. Elada or Elisha, I apologize for not knowing. Great comment. I remember being taught gun safety at a young age. This is still important. Why was the gun loaded and not in a gun safe? This is preventable. This
By
is
the end of the airplay, so you have time.
Jesse says loaded guns in the home. Why?
I know.
A lot of people with that question. I mean, my father had guns. He was a hunter, and but they were always under lock. They were never without a lock. In fact, he had multiple locks. And then they all had their safeties on, and we all had to take gun safety classes just in case somehow those first 2 fail-safes failed.
Right.
And we ended up somehow in possession, that we were shown the appropriate way to handle them. So, I mean, as a parent, I'm not trying to blame anybody. It's awful. It doesn't really matter whose fault it is. It's awful.
It is.
In the end, it won't change.
Stephen, I think we're going to answer your question coming up in our full forecast. Keith, Stephen wants to know how many inches of rain we can expect.
All right. We're doing good. Fed wants to change the law and make it illegal to secretly record somebody. That story's coming up. Did you just say that?
No, talking about weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but did you say there was a question we were going to answer coming up?
Yeah.
Was that Fred?
No, that was for the rain.
Okay. Yeah, that was just so sad. I can't even imagine.
Very sad.
Imagine. What's up, Mary from South Carolina?
K-Rex. Oh, she's
Lisa's
talking.
in Millinocket.
We have a request on YouTube for you to sing during commercial breaks before you leave. Pretty please.
That will happen. We will make that happen. Lock it in. It's going to happen.
Early reports yesterday from TMZ and Variety said musician Demi Lovato was rushed to the hospital for a heroin overdose. But today, TMZ took that back and is simply saying it was an overdose, not specifying the drug. Her rep says Demi is awake and talking to her family and wants to say her thanks for all the support. She adds some of the information being reported is incorrect and they respectfully ask for privacy.
Mama, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore.
Now, Demi's struggle with addiction is well known. She came forward years ago to share her story and opened up about her eating disorder and alcoholism in a YouTube documentary she released. In the song Sober last month, describing her relapse after 6 years of sobriety. Her fans in Hollywood have come out in full force to wish her the best and support her, but this tweet is also making the rounds from a regular college student in Cambridge. It says some of the same people feeling bad and praying for Demi right now have been calling their heroin addict in their hometown a junkie loser for the last 3 years, even though that person wants to get better too. Keep the same energy across the board and be there for people struggling. So, I mean, definitely a big conversation starter with this happening, you know?
The celebrities get the attention, but to that person's point, this is a problem obviously everywhere. We've done a lot about this.
Right,
so.
absolutely.
All right, Sammy, thank you very much. If you have not heard this, you either live under a rock or you are so lucky. April the giraffe is expecting. Are you happy or are you so over it? Like me. Let us know right now on our Facebook or YouTube live stream.
This is sure to be a talker. Okay, tomorrow looks like a day to stay inside and watch Netflix. Keith's stormy forecast next.
All righty.
Yes, Fred agrees. Let Kristina sing for us.
I agree. K-Rex will be singing for us. Don't you worry, Sam. It's going to happen. What day is Kristina going to sing for us? Tomorrow or Monday? Yes, days. But thanks. So you either have tomorrow or Monday or right now. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. Right now is fine. We have an opening right now. Or tomorrow or Monday.
She's thinking about it.
You can make it Monday. I'm going to turn that camera on you. I will put it on my shoulder. We will get right in your face and we will sing. There will be some singing from K-Rex. She going to get her sang on.
Wait, should we take viewer requests for songs?
I love this.
Is that what this is?
Oh,
yes. Yeah. You guys can request what songs you would like Kristina to sing, and that will give her a few days to learn some of the notes.
Well, I'm sure she knows, but...
Well, what if it's an obscure song? If
she
it's
can have
anything
her selection.
Before 2010, she's probably never heard of it. You crazy kids.
Crazy kids. Karen. Hi, Karen.
Poor April. Why? You're the only one pregnant more than April.
Karen, any day now.
Could Kristina sing over video of April the giraffe?
Oh.
Well, Keith does cartwheels, superimposed over
Now that's getting really crazy. That's clickbait right
sing
there.
Like Hush Little Baby to April while she's pregnant. See? It's all coming together. Who wants the volume turned up? Not really sure.
Lisa says can't hear you, but I think
it's a little low. Everybody's saying there's no volume.
Well, they're going to see in 40 seconds.
It's not. It's okay, guys. This is what happens when Liam takes vacation.
You want to run this?
I'm not going to say who's in charge of it.
Do you want to run this?
But it rhymes with hef and starts with a J.
You went there?
No.
Welcome to Liam's life.
Oh, we
Lee,
tell Liam all the time.
Lee throws Liam under the bus every single day.
I give Liam credit.
And we'd be nowhere without Liam.
Just saying.
Liam is on a much well-deserved vacation.
Oh no, I think I just broke it. Broke it. Okay, no, we didn't.
When I saw that you were sliding in.
Calling into question whether the president paid money to a Playboy model in exchange for silence about an affair.
How is that legal? What about attorney-client privilege? Doesn't Donald Trump have a right to know when he's being recorded? You asked a lot of great questions today on Facebook, so Chris Costa looked into them.
Lee and Lindsay, all of these rules are decided state by state. Maine is a one-party consent state. So that means if I'm having a private conversation with Lee, technically I'm the only person who needs to know that it's all on tape. We took your questions directly to a media law attorney. To learn more about recording conversations, we went to media lawyer Ben Piper and recorded our conversation.
It is. We're getting a little meta here. I think there are a lot of misconceptions in the general public about the level of privacy that they're entitled to.
States decide whether to be a one-party consent state or an all-party consent state. One-party states, like Maine, only require one of the people in the conversation to allow recording, meaning we could tape Ben without ever telling him, and it's perfectly legal.
I think intuitively a lot of people think that's a violation of privacy and both people should have to consent.
However, 12 states require all parties to consent for the recording to be legal. States like California, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. The Maine Attorney General's office says that when a phone call takes place between two different states, the law where the recording takes place applies.
The best practice is to err on the side of caution and to obtain consent.
But those laws don't only apply to private places. Even on a public sidewalk, if I have a conversation on speakerphone, someone else can record it, and it's totally legal.
The standard that's generally used is a reasonable expectation of privacy. And if, for example, if you're in the bedroom with your wife, it wouldn't be the same situation as if you're in a public park and having a conversation on speakerphone.
Even when it comes to attorney-client privilege, there are exceptions.
If one privileged communication is disclosed, that could potentially waive the attorney-client privilege for all communications that were on the same topic.
With all these complicated rules, people need to know their rights. Now, there are a lot of exceptions when it comes to law enforcement taking place in these private conversations and recordings, but it is federally illegal for neither party in a conversation to be aware that it's being taped, like a wiretapped phone call. Lee and Lindsay?
Yeah, you should have recorded my reaction to seeing two Chris Costas on the screen at the same time. How did you do that? All right.
That was very cool.
It's magic. Okay, you know what else is magic?
This is not
Shocker,
magic.
April the Giraffe, she's preggers again. The live streaming superstar Stop Clapping is expecting another baby. Do not clear your schedules just yet, kids, because giraffes, well, they basically carry babies forever. The zoo is not expecting delivery until spring of next year.
But the internet is already a spring mix, I guess that was romaine actually, of exasperation and excitement. Some are counting down the days until a mini April come along. Others are dreading the moment those live streams fire up.
I'm not sure, Lee, you're qualified to say anything about animals of any kind being pregnant too often.
Why?
I just don't think it's something that you can really.
Ours don't last 16 months at a time. They just feel like they do.
Cumulatively, though. You're putting a lot of time in. See, Jeff, our digital guy's excited because he knows it'll be all of the clicks.
Jeff's just happy that you took a shot at me because he wanted to, but you did. So
we gotta get him a microphone.
He's been taking shots at Jeff this whole time. For once, it's not you, Keith.
I know. Liam and Jeff should have microphones. We were gonna give Teddy one, but he quit. So you know,
there you go.
That's it.
So there's that.
He doesn't get a microphone now. All right, real humid out there today. Continuing to get actually more and more humid incrementally. Probably reaching the max tomorrow, but dew points are already in the mid mid-70s in spots in Freiburg, Sanford 74 in Portsmouth. And the temperatures, you know, they're tropical. It's kind of one of those things that if you spend any time down in the Keys or in the Caribbean, you realize that yes, it's warm, but it also stays in this range that's not all that hot most of the time. It's pretty rare to be, say, 95 plus in the Caribbean. And that's the same thing here. We have this range, this ceiling, where we're 85 on the high end of it, and a lot of us staying in the 70s. Showers and storms have broken out to our west. The past few days they've stayed there, but we're beginning a transition of this heavier moisture lifting out over Maine. So the showers and storms now into the mountains and foothills. And if we zoom out, there's a lot of moisture streaming across the mid-Atlantic and into the northeast. So we're going to see more showers and storms tonight. And then tomorrow, although not a washout in the traditional sense, is going to be a really tough day to plan anything outside. A lot of heavy showers and storms. So hour by hour forecast showing us some showers and thunderstorms tonight, most of them over western and southern Maine. By tomorrow, we've got thick fog, a lot of clouds, and heavy downpours. So not a nice morning at all. The downpours continue through the middle of the day, maybe a bit of a break, and then thunderstorms roll through later on in the afternoon. Finally clear those out late Thursday night. And Friday actually looks pretty good. We'll call it partly sunny with just an isolated thunderstorm and some warm temperatures into the mid-80s away from the immediate coastline. So Friday looks good. Saturday there will be a couple of showers and storms around, and then we clear out for Sunday, Monday, and possibly Tuesday. It's a weak little ridge of high pressure just buying us a couple of days of partly cloudy conditions. They're not going to be stunning days, but they should be dry before we go back to some moisture later in the week. So I don't normally do precipitation chances because it's kind of it's a southern thing to do because it may rain any day in the south often, but it makes sense in this pattern. So it's going to rain tomorrow, and then a 30% chance of a shower on Friday, 60 on Saturday, and then back to 30 on Sunday and Monday, which means it's unlikely that you'll see any showers. And that's kind of how I've stacked up the 7-day forecast as well. Again, I like Friday, I like Sunday. Saturday's meh, it's okay. And then scattered showers. But the humidity, guys, we get a brief break Sunday and Monday, and then looks like it probably comes back next week. So I know you love
Your
it.
Your caption game, very strong.
Oh, good, yes. I like to put little jokes.
I follow along, I pay close attention.
The humidity is messing with my hair, man.
I know. Actually, it looks good today. I was just thinking that.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Thank you very much, Keith.
Okay. All right, let's get
You've
back
always
to
been
work.
my favorite.
Because you know who else is back to work? The Patriots. Tom Brady is posting pictures and videos of the training he's doing on his own time, while the Patriots' Instagram is counting down to the first day of mandatory training camp. And as always, Belichick is fired up about it. Today, he talked to reporters about Julian Edelman's 4-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, well, Julian is a very hard-working player. We're all disappointed, but it is what it is. He's moved on, we've moved on, and just take what we have now and do the best we can with it.
Some athletes flew in today. Practice starts tomorrow.
So in the 26 years I covered the Patriots religiously, that face you guys just saw from Bill Belichick, that's pretty much it. Happy birthday, Coach. You get that face. You won the Super Bowl, Coach. You get that face.
Hey,
you lost,
he's
Coach.
consistent.
You get that face. He is definitely consistent.
That's good.
And I'm glad he's ours. Well, he's not mine, but you know what I'm saying. Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Who wants to get paid thousands of dollars so you can sleep? Apparently, all you have to do is work for the California Department of Motor Vehicles. It's a thing. If any story ever played into stereotypes, this is it. An independent audit found that one particular employee slept 3 to 4 hours a day since February of 2014. Do the math. $40,000 in taxpayer dollars, and supervisors actually knew about it. They would wake the employee up a few times every day, but just assumed it was a medical issue, so they never reported it. But the employee had a doctor's note saying that she was able to perform her duties.
Okay.
You know what's coming up next?
I don't know. Well, I do know what's coming up next. Oh, he fell asleep. You know who's not sleeping? Pat Callahan. He has more of what's coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30.
Hey,
I respect the dedication of people who are willing to bring it to the job that way.
Exactly.
We have more than 100 legislative candidates who are counting on clean elections funding to pay for their fall campaigns, but they're still waiting. The State Ethics Commission says nothing can be done until the legislature takes action. And if you need a new local brand to fuel your coffee addiction, you'll want to know a local entrepreneur who's joining the cold brew craze. Those stories and much more coming up in just a couple of minutes on News Center at 5:30.
More News Center now when we come back.
Kristina, looks like you're getting something from Rock of Ages.
I was in that show.
That's the request that has come in.
Wow, they've followed for a long time. Those are the requests coming.
That's all. I would just make sure we.
Make that clear. Do you think I need to repeat my question or just start with your name? No.
Rachel.
Trying to figure out what Michelle is referring to.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So,
Rachel Harvey says she's ready for some sun. She
Yeah.
wants sun.
and she has audio. Everybody seems to have audio.
Okay. We gotta get to that.
I think the person who rhymes with half has fixed it.
Oh. I will say this rain was needed.
You had, excuse me, you had 1 year where you had a microphone, and so did I. And look what happened.
Yeah, I worked here.
Hey,
We both got kicked out.
I have a question for everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube right now. Who is participating in this year's Portland to Peaks swim? Anyone participating?
Not me.
I talked to a woman on the phone today who's done it for 3 decades.
Come on.
Crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Reed, you'll like it. It's about babies.
Oh, I'm in.
It's about the babies. Rick,
do you need this, Linz?
I don't know. Some days I use it, some days I don't. I guess it depends on the shoes.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
I'm not sure you're fooling anyone, so it's fine.
I know.
It's all good.
I'm short. It's fine.
What
I
people
embrace
forget
it.
about is the ratios are weird if you get too
The
high on a
ratio
box.
is it can be weird. Yes.
Right, that's where it gets weird.
Exactly.
Ortiz once double boxed it at noon, and I didn't have I didn't know she was doing a box at all, and it was real strange because she was about an inch
Real
taller
tall.
than me, but her waist was like way in the wrong place. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess how many boxes I use down there?
You do too?
Not on the side, behind.
Oh god, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like Jenga.
It is like Jenga.
All right, so my mom was shocked to learn when we had Luca that it costs money, like even with insurance nowadays. Yeah, so this is by every state. The average was $10,000 for a normal birth, and it was about $15,000 for a C-section, which are up quite a bit over the past couple of years. I wanted to hit you with this number, though. Let's go to the full screen, shall we? By the way, Maine was 39th out of 50, so it wasn't so bad as far as how expensive it was. Lee, this is how much, roughly, that you're going to pay by the end of the year here for the babies. About $74,000
total.
796. You probably thought it was worse. Now this, of course, as you know, doesn't include food.
He's gonna pass out.
This is just the
These
birth.
kind of numbers out here for him to see.
I don't feel good.
Welcome to reality. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Straight.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, like, I don't know, you probably...